Hey guys, it's Saturday, July 30th, and we end week 5 in Saskatchewan where the Riders and Stampeders will meet for the first of 4 head-to-head matchups. They will be battling this week to decide whether or not second in the West will be a tie going into week 6. It will truly be an interesting matchup, with Calgary being 2-0 on the road, and Saskatchewan currently staring at an 0-2 record on their home turf. The Riders' defense deserves a lot of the credit in last week's win against Montreal, all but nullifying the threat of Anthony Calvillo before Dario Romero knocked him out of the game late in the second quarter. They then went to work on Adrian McPherson, stalling drive after drive after drive through just over 2 quarters of football. Now the D-line alone did a solid job of getting to both quarterbacks and forcing the hurried passes, and the secondary pulled down at least one errant ball and had one very bizarre bouncing interception. The return of safety James Patrick was definitely a boost. He flew around the field and caused extra grief to the Owls last week, and it showed that the Riders were grateful to have their playmaker back. The defense as a whole proved me to be a liar, playing with the most intensity, fire, and commitment I've seen from them in a long time. If they can do that again this week, against an offensive line that seems to be refusing to adequately protect Henry Burris, they will have success. Now I was also proven wrong by the Saskatchewan offense, who finally looked like they were in sync and had something to play for. Darian Durant completed 14 of 20 pass attempts and added in 71 rushing yards last week. He looked like he belonged on the field again, connecting with Weston Dressler midway through the first quarter for a 75-yard bomb of a touchdown. It was that play which I believe was the first step in giving the offense the confidence that they could become a great team again. Now Durant also has a couple of other veteran receivers to choose from in Chris Getzlaff and Jason Claremont. Now don't forget the new kid, Terrence Nunn. The receiving corps is starting to look like professionals again, but they will need to work hard to break the coverage of a solid Stampeder secondary. Brandon Smith got burned on 2 long touchdowns last week and will definitely be looking to make up for it tonight. The running game did burn the Alouettes for over 100 yards, but that may be limited against the Stampeders as their star running back, Wes Cates, injured his foot in last week's win and has been a question mark since then. The Riders do have him listed as the starting back for tonight, but I expect to see more passing plays, if only to take the pressure off his injury. Now as for the Stampeders, the issue is time, in that Henry Burris is just not getting enough of it. He has been looking tentative and unsteady in the pocket, as though he's not entirely sure he's going to be protected. He's right. The offensive line needs to step up and stop letting the opposition get to Hank. I place the blame for him folding like a house of cards squarely on their shoulders. And when they do step up, and Henry does have time, his receiving corps has been failing him. Bryant, Rambo, and Forzani have all taken turns watching the ball hit their fingers before watching it hit the turf. As for their run game, Reynolds is far behind what his normal production for this time in the season is, and once again, the finger of blame points to the offensive line. It's very hard for a running back to get any positive yardage when he can't get a block. You know something has to change in Stampeder camp if they want to improve their record. And they can't even rely on their kicking game, with Maver and Paredes combining to hit only 60% of all field goal attempts. Now it's really very easy to talk about numbers, stats, and clinical things about these teams, but this game will really come down to who wants it more. It will be tight, it will be physical, and it will